Uh, I'm going to talk about uh, the SQL insight, which is around query optimization concept. So basically, query optimization is often viewed as an essential and high-stake responsibility, isn't it? So basically, it is seen as a proactive engineering challenge to prevent the system overloads rather than a mere coding trick. Proper optimization ensures fast and scalable data retrieval for better user experiences, right? So I thought of building something around this area, and thus ended up building this platform, which can be used in troubleshooting a slow performing query. And then secondly, uh, the same platform can act like a repository for the optimization knowledge that is acquired during the life cycle or the operation of that platform. It can preserve that experiences, and that experience can be used, made available for the future analysis and optimization. So I built this platform and I have named it as SQL Insights. I'm going to talk about it today. So good morning. My name is Ranadive. I was working with Red Hat until 31st December last year, after which I decided to take a short career break to help support my 10-year-old son who was having some schooling related challenges that needed my full attention. And during those quieter times, away from the routine work, I thought of coming back to the world of PostgreSQL. Coming back to, as in, I was working in PostgreSQL in the beginning of my career, that is from 2005 till 2008. I was part of a company called Netiza. So they had their data warehouse appliance, and they had used PostgreSQL open source version and extended it to adapt to their proprietary hardware. So I had worked in PostgreSQL, but then there was a decade-long gap. And since PostgreSQL is always been close to my heart, I thought, why not take this opportunity and contribute something in the PostgreSQL. Now, I'm not a very expert in PostgreSQL. So so I thought of contributing in a way which would be meaningful and which could benefit the PostgreSQL community, and that's how uh, I uh, thought of building this SQL Insight. So today I'm going to talk about these five agenda items. I will quickly introduce what is SQL Insight and how it can help. Then I will briefly talk about the architecture that I have thought of, and how I have implemented it. Uh, by the way, I have already made it live for use, though it is still under development. But the basic functionality uh, is functioning and it is useful. I'm going to demo that also during the presentation. So I will briefly talk about the architecture and implementation of SQL Insight. So I discussed SQL Insight, or rather, I ran SQL Insight. I presented it to a couple of my bosses from my previous company, one from Arctic Wolf and one from Walmart Global Tech. So they liked this the idea, and then I ran them through few of the applications of SQL Insight, and these are some of the use cases which they also acknowledged. One of the use cases is in the implementation, or in the for the use of uh, uh, being like a guardrail in data agents, AI agents rather. The second use case is proactive intelligence platform, wherein we can provide the observability functionality for the database. And the third use case is a knowledge repository, which will hold the knowledge experience about the optimization cases. Yeah. So what is SQL Insight? So basically, it is a platform that learns from real PostgreSQL optimization cases, and it turns that knowledge into actionable recommendations. So right now, as I said, it is very much a platform in progress. Development is in progress, and I'm doing it solely. I'm not here as a polished founder or a business person, uh, but I'm here as a fellow engineer, which who thought about the problem, thought of building this solution, and wanted to bring it in front of you people who understand it best. And you guys can provide me your views and inputs. Uh, Precisely, SQL Insight can be useful in troubleshooting a slow running query, a slow running SQL query. Now, a slow query in production is definitely a nightmare, not a something to experience, uh, or nobody would want to experience that thing. But then it is part of our life. Uh, so when we encounter a situation of troubleshooting a slow running query, usually what we do is we reach out to the platforms like Stack Overflow and try to see if any kind of pointers are available there. Most of the time, the answer that we find there is a guess uh, by some user who has encountered similar problem in past. But then what is missing is the schema, the execution plan, and what differs is the context, because it is not every time likely that uh, what the user has uh, given the given as part of the answer will 100% match with what we are trying to troubleshoot, isn't it? So in many of the cases, the context differs, and troubleshooting a slow running query, the context is very important. So in such situation, to bridge this gap of missing context, SQL Insight can be useful. So what does SQL Insight do? The user will give the query that is performing slow, along with the corresponding explained plan output. And then SQL Insight tells you what is likely going wrong and what to do about it. SQL Insight can detect problems like sequential scans being used as part of the execution of the query. Then the another problem that it detects is nested loop join explosions, wherein the internal table every row is scanned for every row of the outer table. Then bad row estimation is also detected by SQL Insight, and by detecting these problems, it also uh, provide the recommendations like the recommendations are very specific and executable, not a vague advice. So the one of the recommendation is create index on the name of the table, and the column on which it should be created. So exact statement is given as a output, and that statement can be easily executed on the database to as part of the remedy. Uh, so this is one thing, but beyond this, there is something more interesting. In the backend, every analysis is captured in the graph model. It is a graph structured knowledge base which captures the problem and the solution that has worked. So this accumulated knowledge then can be used as a training data to build the ML model for query optimization. So think of it like a platform that learns from its own functioning as well as from the experts, right? Now, user can interact with SQL Insight in two ways. Um, Either they come up to analyze their query, which is a typical developer use case, or they come as a expert to submit their learnings. Uh, for example, if any engineer has encountered any slow running query in past, and he has a knowledge of how he managed to troubleshoot that slow running query. So that experience the expert may want to share. So for such users, they can submit the problem they solved, the fix they applied, and then before and after execution plan. So these are the two modes in which the backend engine learns. So these are the two modes in which the experience get feeded into the backend knowledge graph. So that is the vision. So basically, this is I wanted this platform to evolve as a platform that learns from real PostgreSQL query optimization cases and automatically recommend the fixes. So as the platform evolves, more and more cases are analyzed or the cases are submitted. The backend, the engine will become more intelligent, and in this way we may aim to build a AI augmented optimizers like that. So that is the key idea behind developing this platform. Now moving on, so I will briefly talk about the implementation architecture. When the query will get submitted along with its explain JSON, the system runs it through a pipeline. So the very first component is a parser. Parser extracts the structural context out of the query. It extracts what are the tables that are being queried, then what are the filters that are being applied, and then which columns are being joined if join is involved, right? So that is the parser. So parser is meant for extracting the structural context. The next one is the explain analyzer, which basically processes the explain JSON output. So explain JSON output is something that we can generate using the PostgreSQL client, which gives the detailed plan of that particular query being executed. So explain analyzer processes this execution plan tree, and then it identifies things like what are the node types, then what are the actual versus estimated rows, then what are the loop counts, what is the memory usage, etc. So these are the memory and execution specific signals that are derived by the explain analyzer. Then this consolidated output goes into the detector engine. This detector engine is a set of modular detectors, each looking for a specific class of problem. For example, the sequence scan detector flags the sequential scan, and it suggests that whatever appropriate indexes are required uh, for improving the performance. So that is detected. Um, then next one is bad row estimation detector. It catches the situation where the planner's row estimate is differing from the reality, which means that the statistics are stale, and the user need to run the analyze to get the statistics up to date so that planner can generate the efficient plan, right? The next problem that the detector engine identifies with the help of nested loop detector, it identifies if there are O of n square join explosions. In case of join explosions, the inner table gets scanned repeatedly for every row of the outer table. So such type of a situation also contribute to the query running slow, right? So these problems are also identified by nested loop join detector. Similarly, so far I have managed to add six different detectors, but then still I'm thinking of um, improving the coverage, identifying more problems that lead to the slow running query or the slow performance of the PostgreSQL, right? Um, so after this, the output goes to something called as a yeah. So by the way, when the detector engine identifies the problem, detects the problem, it generates that list of problems, and this knowledge gets saved in the backend in the form of the query. I mean the actual pattern of the SQL pattern of the query, along with the explained JSON output and the identified problems. So in this way, the backend engine accumulates the data, which can be used for further tuning of the platform. Then this output goes into something called as a ranking engine, wherein every output is basically ranked in order to make the more relevant recommendation come top at the top. Uh, so basically, multi-signal ranking engine that I'm calling it as. So basically, uh, the recommendation gets weighted based on how many number of times this particular uh, problem has been encountered, how often a particular fix has been validated in the knowledge graph, and then how severe is the problem based on actual row count and the cost, and then how similar is the query with the past queries where the fix has worked. So based on that, the consolidated weight gets calculated and associated with the recommendation. So that way, the output is a clean and prioritized list of recommendation. It is ranked and explainable. Yeah. So in terms of use cases, I feel that SQL Insight can be beneficial in the development and in the functioning of the NL to SQL uh, AI agents, right? So AI agent which generate the SQL from natural languages, so their SQL Insight can act like a guardrail. Now, in AI agent, we generate the SQL from the natural language. User types something like show me all the orders from past month where the value was above 10,000. So such kind of a natural language prompt the user will provide. And then these AI data agent with the help of LLM, they generate the SQL query. And then that query gets run against the database. So this is how AI agents work in short. Now here the problem is that LLM is very good at making those queries syntactically correct, and it is also very good at making it semantically aligned with what the user wanted, meaning that whatever is the user's intent, uh, the AI agents are very good at aligning the SQL with the user's intent. But then it has absolutely no idea about what is the data distribution, uh, then what are the indexes that are available, then what are the table sizes, what is the execution cost, so these statistical details which are essential in terms of regarding the performance of the database, right? Um, this information is not available with the LLM, right? So this information definitely can be feed into LLM, but then I feel that LLMs are not meant to know all this information. In my opinion, there should be a separation of concern, wherein this responsibility should not lie with the LLMs, and that is where I thought of pitching SQL Insight to take the responsibility of acting as a guardrail. So when we end up with queries that are so basically, so right now the situation is that the queries are syntactically correct, but then they may be catastrophically slow, making the database perform slow. And that's where SQL Insight can help as a guardrail. So before the generated query will be sent to the database for its execution, the SQL Insight can analyze, and then based on that analysis, uh, the AI agent can tune itself or take the necessary actions to make that query perform better, right? So uh, uh, I have uh, demonstrated this how SQL Insight can be integrated into uh, an M to SQL AI agents with the help of. So basically, I wrote a small Python SDK, and I have made it available on the GitHub. Uh, there are three steps in which SQL Insight can be integrated with the NL to SQL AI agent. So basically, we can instantiate a client, SQL Insight client. Then we call uh, the client dot check method. We can pass on the generated SQL and along with the database connection object. Then the SQL Insight does the processing, and then it generates a list of decisions, list of suggestions basically. Now, AI agent can basically uh, check the decision part of the result. If it is allowed, that means the query is safe to be executed in terms of performance, and it can go ahead and let the database run the query. But if SQL Insight indicates that there is a missing index, then it is indicated with the decision as index, in which case it the the suggestion field can be referred to know to extract the suggestion. The recommendation could be create an index before running the query, right? So using the recommended statement, the AI agent can first execute the uh, uh, create index statement on the database and then proceed for the execution of the generated sequence. Similarly, configuration specific changes are also indicated by the SQL Insight, along with query rewrite need if required and warning. So these are the five different categories in which SQL Insight can provide the decision with which the NL to SQL AI data agent can ensure the queries that get generated are performant. So this is the first use case where the SQL Insight can be. useful. The second use case is acting like a proactive intelligent platform. So I had shown SQL Insight to one of my boss from my previous company, that is Walmart Global Tech. So he is heading system reliability engineering group in Walmart, and he felt that SQL Insight is useful. But then he gave me a feedback saying that right now SQL Insight is reactive in nature. So when a developer hits a slow query, developer comes to the platform and submits it. So that is the trigger right now. But then he wanted me to flip the model, wherein instead of waiting for developer to come to the platform, bring the problem, instead uh, SQL Insight should be continuously watching the database and surfacing the problem even before it impacts the user. So in that sense, I came up with this use case uh, wherein we can integrate SQL Insight with the database, precisely PG stat statements table and the query logs, and ingest this information into the system, and then a SQL Insight will continuously keep an eye with respect to the performance of the queries being executed. And for any slow performing query, alert can be raised, notification can be sent to the respective stakeholders, database administrators, so that they can act well in advance before the problem becomes red. So this is kind of a observability use case wherein SQL Insight can be beneficial. The next sub use case is that policy prevention. Um we can define rules like no sequential scan on large tables should be permitted. So such type of a policies can be defined in the system, and then with the help of SQL Insight, those policies can be automatically enforced on the workload of the database, PostgreSQL database, right? So these are the three sub use cases where SQL Insight uh, um, may add value to. The third use case is what I briefly touch upon, uh, acting as a knowledge repository of optimization cases in PostgreSQL. Uh, think about so today, right? So knowledge about the SQL optimization is shared. How it is shared? So it is shared through Stack Overflow, uh, then blog post, and the conferences like conference talks like this one. So this knowledge about the SQL optimization is scattered today, and it is highly unstructured in nature, right? And precisely the context is missing, as I said, because to troubleshoot the query, uh, context plays the more important role, isn't it? So, with the help of SQL Insight, I'm aiming to build a backend repository wherein we can preserve the knowledge about optimization, um, not the exact query or not the actual customer data, but the pattern, the SQL pattern, the execution plan, without the actual data, right? And the detected problems and the validated solutions. So this is the aim. So basically, uh, coming up with a knowledge repository which can be used to augment to basic feed into the feed into the AI system to build the AI augmented query optimizer. So that is the broad vision. But then to 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 facilitate that vision, this is the first step, is what I believe. So something similar to Stack Overflow, where people on Stack Overflow, people submit their queries, and then other experts who have already encountered similar problem and solve the problems, they provide their views, right? And then the original user who has submitted the problem, he will either upvote or downvote that answer, and based on that, uh, the Stack Overflow uh, you know uh, shows the problems solutions, right? In the same way, on a SQL Insight also, uh, the PostgreSQL experts can enroll themselves. They can submit the problems that they have solved in the past, and that knowledge will be used in providing the recommendations. So this is the third use case that I'm building in SQL Insight. Yeah, in terms of phases, the phase one is what I have achieved to complete. Right now, I'm trying to polish the first use case that I talked about, which is NL to SQL, um, acting as a guardrail for NL to SQL. So I'm trying to improvise that, and then I'm also trying to work on building a proactive intelligence platform which can be useful in the SRE world. So that is something that I'm working upon right now. All right. So this is what I have built, and I have thought of sharing with all of you. Do give it a try. See, it is live at SQLinsights.in. And then Python SDK is also made available in the GitHub. Uh, so if you feel like SQL Insight could be beneficial in particular scenario, feel free to reach out to me. Provide me your suggestion, feedback. I'm happy to listen and accommodate your feedback. I would be highly. I would be more than happy to invite the collaboration in all sorts. So I will quickly now show you. I will try to hit the URL and I will try to demonstrate the SQL Insight. Uh, Let me reshare. Um, Give me a second. I'm just yeah, yeah. Let me reshare my screen. All right. Just let me know if my screen is visible, wherein I have opened the page SQLinsights.in.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
You guys can, right? Yeah. So this is the graphical UI, wherein, so as I mentioned, there are two ways in which user can interact with SQL Insight. Uh, One use case is to seek help in troubleshooting a slow running query. So user has to paste the SQL query, which needs to be uh, 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 which needs to be debugged for, investigated for in this first text box. And here the explain, analyze JSON need to be tested. So a tooltip will show what is the exact command that we have to run, and on the we can generate the explain plan like this. The explain plan. Let me quickly copy paste that I have already kept it handy. Give me 1 second. 1 second, huh? Yeah.
Uh, Thank you,
So
Prof. Go ahead, please. Sorry.
my screen is still visible, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just yeah. So this is the query. Let's say we want to debug, which is running. In terms of performance, we will see if there are any bottlenecks or if this can be improved further. So this is the query, and the corresponding explain output also I'm taking from here. So yeah, this is the plan that has been generated for this particular SQL, right? Now see, this is the if you see, uh, this is a big plan. There are a huge number of lines in it. So in a typical situation wherein we are troubleshooting a slow running query in production, um, just to in terms of uh, just to save time, SQL Insight can be useful. You just provide these two inputs and then hit the analyze button. So it basically shows the recommendation as we can see. The primary bottleneck detected is review query plan for possible optimizations. So whatever is the recommendation, like one of the recommendation is create index on app orders on these two columns. So such type of recommendations can be useful uh, when we are troubleshooting, and then run, analyze, or create statistics. So in this way, the SQL Insight can be used. And then this is first use case. The second use case is that user can basically submit uh, uh, their experiences in the form of SQL query, problem that they encountered, the solution that has worked upon, that has worked, or that fixed the problem, and explain plan JSON before and after, like that. And every once submission is done, um, the same the members of the platform can review cases also. So something similar to what we have in Stack Overflow. The members of the platform can basically review the cases submitted by other member users of the platform, and based on their approval, the this submission is also considered uh, in the functioning of the platform. And then here there is a way to either upvote or downvote the analysis. So in this way, the platform aims at learning and tuning itself to provide better recommendation. So yeah, so that's all I had to share with all of you today. I hope you liked it. Feel free to share your views. Yeah,
Great. Uh, Thank you, Prof. There are a couple of questions from Anil in the chat. If you can take
yeah.
them on, it would be great.
Is it in the chat window?
Yes.
I don't see any message. Do you mind?
Yeah, I
Uh,
Yeah,
will.
yeah,
in-
yeah. If I may, please.
Go
yeah,
So a very nice presentation, Prafulla. The one thing is, I'll just read out the questions if that's okay. Is this
sure.
you answered this question? It's live on GitHub, and
Yeah.
you provided the roadmap. All that is good. And as part of the second question, will this be a SaaS product? You mentioned that yes, in the phase 3 it will be there. Now, the third question is, can this compare the first run of SQL execution versus a fresh run, and showcase any difference between the previous run and provide any recommendations between the delta, please?
Uh, Sorry, can you come again? The delta in
Sure.
terms of
Yeah.
delta in
So
terms of uh, the uh, the one without recommendation. What is the performance time, and after recommendations are tried, what is the performance?
yeah, basically, if you are comparing two code bases, how's the high performant code base going to benefit in terms of performance
In
and
terms
give
of
any
performance, yeah. So in terms of performance recommendations, right? So as I mentioned, we can we can write the problem detectors in the
Mm,
backend
mm,
engine. So with the help of those detectors, every problem gets identified, and then corresponding to those problems, whatever recommendations are,
mm,
those are given. One of the recommendation, which is in the form of a executable statement, is create index on table on this particular column. So that is the first type of a recommendation. Similar to that, in the scenario wherein the statistics are not up to date, right? So those in those situations, uh, whatever estimations done by the planner, those do not match with the actual rows, number of rows, or size of the table on the disk, right? So in such scenario, the recommendation is that you run the analyze so that statistics are up to date. So likewise, there are multiple problems which are detected by this, and solution is given.
understood.
So right now, this is reactive in nature. By
Mhm.
reactive, I mean user has to hit the analyze query button to get the recommendation, and then manually try those recommendations, right? For example, creating the index or running the analyze to
Mm.
get the statistics up to date, like that. But then when I developed this proactive intelligence platform, there all these recommendations will also be consumed automatically without any manual intervention. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, you mentioned this about how it's to be set up since it's going to be a SaaS product. How easy it is? Is it deployable? What's the deployment architecture? Real quick, if you can say it is just accessible as a SaaS, people can just go to the URL, or can they download and build a Docker container, or how does it work?
Yeah.
Or you
So
can
right
be as
now,
brief as you can.
sure,
Yeah,
sure.
thank you.
Right now, I have just posted it, and then people can directly hit the URL and try to analyze and get the recommendation, right? But then,
Excuse me.
so right now, I have not made it. I haven't done anything much about deployment architecture or the steps. But then soon I am going to make it available in the Docker form, so that people can download and try it out in their own environment. Because there is I don't want to people fear about the data privacy and data breach,
Yes,
etc.
understood. And
So
air-gapped environments are very critical in these kind of
exactly,
scenarios.
exactly. So to handle that part, in couple of weeks duration, I'm going to make it the source code also. I'm going to make it available on GitHub, so that
Mhm.
people can download and create their
Mhm.
own deployment in their own network and all.
Awesome. And one last question, please.
Yes.
Does this require any kind of repository to be set up for the queries to be stored for analysis, or does it just run on a live connection, please?
So in the backend, it requires a connectivity with PostgreSQL.
Huh. But it does not require a separate database, like a repository database, like
No,
SQL Insights as the
no,
database name, and store all that
no.
information that's
So
coming from the. Okay.
what I'm planning to do is I'm going to create a deployment script with which
Huh.
the all the dependencies will be set up.
Got it. Got it. Awesome. Yeah, great stuff, Prafulla. I wish you the best and looking forward to trying this out. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
appreciate it.